All right, wait a minute. Jayson Tatum tears his Achilles just 3 months ago, and he's already walking like this? This is supposed to be a devastating injury with a year-long recovery, right? Wrong. Now, the reason he's up and moving this fast is a mixture of bleeding edge rehab protocols and, until recently, what would have been considered experimental surgery. But the key thing here isn't just the actual surgery and the rehab protocols, it's the fact that this isn't just something reserved for like a superstar. If you've got the right team around you, a lot of these treatments are very accessible to people like you and me. Let me explain. So the first reason Tatum is back on his feet so fast is that modern rehab protocols have completely changed the way we treat Achilles tears in just the last few years. Because more modern protocols now emphasize early functional rehab, including protected weight bearing. The key here is protected weight bearing. And this is now done like within 2 weeks of surgery. This is a progressive loading through controlled range of motion and slow, deliberate strengthening after that surgery. And what we're seeing in higher level studies like the better research is that you need that early stimulus of the tendon to get it to kind of kickstart to heal faster. But like I said, it's gotta be protected, it's gotta be protected weight bearing, protected PT. What we found is that physical therapy and early rehab is not increasing re-rupture rates. It is not rupturing the tendon after surgery. The key though, like I said, is protection. You have to channel those forces through the tendon so that you're getting enough force to stimulate the tendon, but none of the abnormal forces, and that's usually done by custom boots, like I said, that channel that force to the tendon, give it enough stimulus, but not the abnormal forces that would want to snap it. All right, second factor though, biologic augmentation. Now, elite athletes like Katie, Dame, Tatum, they usually opt for more advanced adjacent treatments to surgery like platelet-rich plasma or PRP injections, or other like stem cell treatments during surgery that accelerate tendon healing. These stem cell products, what they do is they enhance blood flow and collagen remodeling in the recently ruptured or healing tendon, and when added at the time of surgery can really kickstart your body's own repair process. The thing I'll say about PRP and stem cell injections is there are schools of thought out there that say those treatments aren't really doing as much as they claim, and that it's mostly the rehab protocols and the surgery itself and the trauma of the surgery that is recruiting all the stem cells and it is increasing the local inflammation. Put it this way though, if it were my Achilles, I certainly would want them. But the bad part about the biologics, at least for people like you and me, it's probably the most exclusive thing on this list, because biologics are crazy expensive, and depending on insurance or availability, what area you are in the world, they might be very tough to get approved through your insurance or kind of however you get your healthcare. But, there's always a but. Because all these products are so expensive, there's more and more research going into just run-of-the-mill 20 grams of oral collagen peptides once a day. And it's been shown now that they have a significant benefit in healing tendon injuries. And the best part about those are they're relatively cheap and they're available everywhere. But I'd say the biggest factor of this, like the biggest elephant in the room here, is the actual surgery itself. More than likely, he had minimally invasive Achilles surgery. Let me tell you, minimally invasive surgery is just the rage these days. But I'll tell you what, it's got benefits. Newer techniques like percutaneous Achilles repair do reduce soft tissue damage and shorten immobilization time. So instead of this huge incision here running down the Achilles, you just have a couple poke holes here and there, and the whole skin and soft tissue envelope stays intact, which allows your body to get healing much faster, especially given how weak the tissue around the Achilles is and how difficult it is to close it after surgery. So instead of a big gaping hole you gotta heal and all this tissue here that's super friable and just not easy to get back together, now this whole envelope is closed, your body can get straight to healing. And remember the obvious, Tatum, Dame, Tyrese, they all have access to daily one-on-one therapy, custom bracing, and anti-gravity treadmills like the AlterG, which allow earlier gait training without stressing the tendon in any abnormal way. So you can get a lot done on those without having to worry about any abnormal forces popping up through that tendon. But even with all this tech and availability and everything, the equally important reason is that Jayson Tatum is a young, healthy athlete, and historically, young, healthy athletes have terrific outcomes. especially when motivated. So, good on him. I really do hope we see him back sooner than later. It is going to be interesting to see how he, Dame, and Tyrese all recover and what their time frames are. To be able to compare them. It's going to be a fascinating real-time analysis, I'm sure. And speaking of, you want to dive deep into the controversy on if Achilles surgery is even necessary in high-level or recreational athletes, check out this video right here, and I'll see you in that one.